Guys, same with these. We just need a roll of tape. Just anyone that's showing a lot of white, we need to get tape on it. Okay? Red tape. Is it inside? Is that the story? Right, okay. Fine. In that case, boys, why don't we everyone line up over there and we can sort the equipment when the tape comes back. We'll do it all over there, okay? Yeah. Does that make sense? Come on, come on. No, it is stuff they do. But like each one saying that stuff is there. Come, don't get frustrated. Keep playing. Keep playing, mate. No one affects what you do. Focus on the game. Pull them down and then just pull it straight back up. Or just put it on. As soon as you get on the pitch, just put it on. Boys, you're going to have a little walk over there. You're going to walk on from over there. Come on, Kerry. Yeah. Full concentration, eh? You are just, come on, eh? Gonna be a challenge, eh? They're gonna run in behind as well, so ready to run, eh? Just ready to run as well, eh? Come on, eh? It's gonna play as well.
What number are you? 16. Total number? What number are you?
Good evening and welcome to live coverage of Brighton and Hove Albion versus Aston Villa in the Premier League Cup. This represents one of 5 different competitions the young Seagulls are taking part in this season, as Shannon Ruth and his staff are presented another opportunity to put the latest crop of exciting Albion youngsters through their paces. The group stages begin today and it's a tough test. Aston Villa, former winners of this cup, the opponents, as the Premier League Cup gets underway in Lancing. Let's have a look at the lineups then, starting with the Seagulls. Shannon Ruth has taken tonight as an opportunity to cast his gaze over some of the different faces in the Albion ranks. He makes 8 changes from the 1-0 victory over Forest in the league. The 8 players coming in have just 5 starts between them this season. Only Hinchelwood, Shushane and Hinchy keep their places. There's a first look for Albion fans at Louis Flower, who makes his first appearance after arriving from Chelsea at the start of the month. Just 4 changes then for the Villains. Amari Kellyman has netted 4 in 2 this year and starts up top on the day of his 18th birthday, while Philip Marshall comes in between the sticks for James Wright. Frankie Ealing and Travis Patterson make first and second starts of the season respectively. The suspended Finlay Monroe and Ben Broggio make way. It has been a stellar start to the season for Shannon Ruth's young Seagulls. They've won 4 on the trot coming into this one. An opportunity to extend that in cup competition. As I mentioned, one of 5 different competitions they are taking part in this season. Scorching hot day in Sussex as the referee meets the 2 captains in the middle. Official for today, Matthew Russell. He'll be assisted by Coleman O'Meara and Russell Jones. Jordan McRitchie, the fourth, standing between the two managers in the dugouts. And a different crop of Albion youngsters for the fans to look at today. Most notably, that man in the number 9 shirt, Louis Flower, arriving from Chelsea September 1st, looking to make a name for himself with the academy of the Seagulls. Hinchy and Hinchelwood stand over the ball in the centre circle. Albion went out in the group stages of this competition last year. We're hoping to avoid a similar fate for the 2023-24 campaign.
Fucking long way over there.
It was worse as well. iPad still again inside. iPad still inside.
I'll just leave it there, mate.
And Matthew Russell puts the whistle to his lips, and we're underway in Lancing, and an early speculative effort from Jack Hinchelwood floats beyond the goal of Philip Marshall. And really the game will get underway off the boots of the Villa keeper. Pressure put on immediately by Flower. Atom to Jackson. I mentioned 8 changes for the Seagulls. And plenty of the Albion youngsters involved in the international break, and that has meant opportunities for people like this man, Noel Atom, summer arrival from RB Leipzig. First real look at him in blue and white as well. Now Ben Jackson. Villa more than happy to sit off the Seagulls at the moment. Atom again. Jackson. Tasker, no way through. This time Jackson breaks the lines. Baker Boatty. Back to where it came from. Rolled into the channel, and Duffus can run onto it, and Duffus could be in here. Well, it was passive, and it was patient for the Seagulls, but one ball almost released Duffus up the left flank. It's seen behind for a goal kick. Jacob Slater played the ball up that left wing. The game had settled into a very strange pattern to start off with. And Ben Jackson being afforded all the time he wanted on the ball. Slater almost changing that.
Here we go, yes,
one
Tommy.
quick pass
Here we go.
forward.
No, now wait. Come on, come on.
Atom. And once more, Villa showing no signs of pressing the Albion centre-backs when they have the ball at their feet. Tasker, Baker Boatty. Now Shushain round the corner, looking for a pass forward. Will be an Albion throw. Atom. Slater to Duffus. Now a little bit more tempo about the Seagulls football. Hinchy, clever feet. Looking for Duffus, slightly telegraphed the pass. And maybe a chance for Villa to break. Kellyman off running one-on-one with Jackson. Kellyman will race towards the byline. Just about keeps it in play, but a good challenge from Ben Jackson. Stepping across well to deal with it.
Ray, Josh. Here we go, Tommy. Go, press.
Cahill. That seems to be a game plan for Aston Villa. Only 4 minutes played. Giving the Seagulls a lot of respect when they have the ball. But in that forward line, there's plenty of legs. Amari Kellerman, Rico Richards, both fleet-footed players.
Too slow, come on. Bring it, wait till you jump. Thing, wait.
Atom tries to change the picture for the Albion and picks out Baker Boerty well. Shushain with a run down the right, early cross into a good area, and Flower was lurking, but there too was Philip Marshall to scoop the ball up. It is that change of tempo, that change of pace, which is causing Villa problems. Atom's ball out to Baker Boerty. Shushain made a run into the right-hand channel. Just couldn't pick out Flower in the middle. Patterson running one-on-one with Tasker. And Tasker does very well indeed to guide it back to Tommy Reid in the Albion goal. First appearance of the season for Tommy Reid. Has had to sit behind Killian Cahill, Irish under-21 international. Gets his opportunity today. Jackson can't quite pick out Baker Boerty. Seagulls quickly react to steal it back through Duffus though. Good strength. Slater. Another of those summer arrivals, Jacob Slater, pinched from Championship Preston North End. He made his debut at just 18 years old. Shannon Ruth said it had his eye on the left back for a long time. Here he is now pulling wide up the Albion's left flank. Just shrugged out of play by Rico Richards. Throwing's gone Albion's way, perhaps slightly fortunately. Hinchelwood. Shushain turns in a tight space.
How loud can you be, Phil?
Atom looking over halfway. Duffus. Shannon Ruth on the edge of his technical area, asking for a little bit more movement from his Albion troops. Tasker. Baker Boerty takes it in stride. Nicely done. Travis Patterson back covering. Tasker will hassle and harry his way into the penalty area. Flower waiting, so too is Duffus. It's Flower. It's saved by Marshall. Almost an instant impact since arriving for Flower. Offside flag was up anyway. Tasker did brilliantly. His industry created the chance. Duffus mishit it, fell through to Flower. Offside flag up against the Albion's new number 9.
You can release yourself though. You got it? When we're up there.
It has been all Seagulls in the opening 8 minutes. And Aston Villa seem more than happy to let them have possession. The question is, can Shannon Ruth's side make the villains pay? Ben Jackson able to get himself out of trouble and just receives a clip on the heels from Tommy O'Reilly. No one's had more touches than this man, Noel Atom. Ben Jackson again. Tasker, one of those under-18s making the step up this campaign. There is plenty of them out there. Only 4 in the Albion 11 over the age of 18, and this is an under-21 competition. Here's Baker Boerty racing forward. Such a quick turn of pace. Wants a penalty. It's been given. And wait to see where the referee points. Just as a free kick on the edge of the penalty area. Matthew Russell has adjudged the contact took place outside the area. No complaints from the Albion players. So it'll be a Seagulls free kick in that right-hand channel inside the opening 10 minutes. First set piece for either side in a dangerous area. Atom, Jackson, Hinchy, Flower all joining into the penalty area. So too is Hinchelwood. Shushain and Slater standing over the set piece. It's the yellow boots of Sammy Shushain. It's headed away by Josh Feeney. Back with the Tunisian. Baker Boerty turning into a bit of a blind alley. Shushain's lunged in. Advantage to Aston Villa. Josh Feeney to Kerr Smith. Time to face his own goal. That might get him into trouble. Gets it away in time. Duffus trying to check Tristan Rowe. Again, advantage goes the way of Villa. Teddy Rowe. Mikel Barnes, Frankie Ealing. Villa starting to shift through the gears with Tommy O'Reilly dancing towards the edge of the Albion penalty area, and a crucial challenge from Noel Atom. Amari Kellyman hanging off his shoulder, waiting for that ball to run through to him, and a last-ditch challenge from Atom sees it behind for a Villains corner kick on the left. Be Teddy Rowe to take. First real bit of defending for the Albion to do in the opening quarter of an hour of this one. In swinger from Rowe into the dangerous area. Hooked behind by Baker Boerty. Wasn't clean, but it did the job. Second chance for Teddy Rowe to deliver. This one slightly longer. Again, it makes its way into the 6-yard box. Bounces out to O'Reilly, who was always leaning backwards as he struck it over the top of the bar. Wants a corner kick. Tommy O'Reilly won't get one. Can't add to the goal he's already scored this season. Opened up nicely from in truth. It was Duffus that came flying out to close the angle, and it sails over the top. Jackson. Everything the Albion have done has gone down the flanks thus far, struggling to get the ball into the feet of Hinchy and Hinchelwood, the two real playmakers in the middle.
Sorry, you can push on to the 5. You don't just have to worry about the 8, mate, okay? Go together with Tommy.
Frankie Ealing with the throw. Mikel Barnes. Flower. Can't nick the ball back for the Seagulls. And now Tristan Rowe has a pocket of space just shy of halfway.
Look at this space here. Look at this space. Come on. Come on.
Into the path of Rowe again.
Yes,
running one-on-one with Slater. And Rowe will get there first across the 6-yard box. No one able to latch onto the end of it. Seagulls escape. And maybe a counter-attack on for the Albion if they get this one right. Duffus, he's the wrong side of Tristan Rowe, the right back. Flower in the middle. Joshua Duffus goes alone. Atom taking over in midfield. Baker Boerty. Duffus. Jack Hinchelwood. Shane Hinchy does well to get himself out of trouble. No real space for those two Albion central midfielders at the moment, though. Jack Hinchy, rather crudely cut to the turf by Kellyman, who will get a word in the ear from referee Matthew Russell. Perhaps a little bit of frustration in that challenge from Kellyman. Here is Hinchy again. Atom. Space for Slater, but it's just a half step beyond him. Groans of frustration. Sun setting beyond the South Downs. It has been a fascinating, tactical opening first 15 minutes of this one. The first real clear-cut chance still eludes us. Rico Richards. Now Tommy O'Reilly. Travis Patterson, nice touch on the chest. Tasker for company, back to O'Reilly. Mikel Barnes. Villa just starting to grow in confidence, you feel. Jackson. Slightly behind Tristan Rowe, that will hold the full back up. It's the Albion's turn to chase possession. Philip Marshall. Rico Richards can't win the header. Duffus picks up the scraps. He's fouled midway inside his own half. First time these two sides have met at under 21 level since the 2017-18 season, when the Albion were in the Premier League 2 Division 2. Villa have stayed at that level. Albion, of course, since being promoted to the top tier. All now merged with the new format for the 2023-24 season. Albion won both meetings back in the 27-18 campaign. Duffus can't latch onto Tommy Reed's long ball forward. Slater colliding in midfield with Rowe. Now O'Reilly. If anyone's going to make something happen, feels like it might be Tommy O'Reilly for Aston Villa. Kellyman. Late challenge on O'Reilly. Good possession back to the Midland side.
Excellent on the second ball, well done. Just keep it moving, just going back.
Yossi's there, Yossi's there.
Just ball goes the long one forward, win the race, so you don't end up fouling, mate, yeah?
Yeah, he's there.
Yes.
Josh Feeney.
Josh again.
Rico Richards.
You shoot that if you can. Yeah, Rico ready. Go, Josh, Josh. Hey, Tristan.
Philip Marshall. One of those with the youth setup that has had experience in men's football. Played the second half of last season with Gateshead in the National League. He helped the Northern side stay up. 8 clean sheets in his final 20 appearances. And those that haven't tuned in to the Albion under-21s this season will notice there's a lot of faces missing. Brighton and Hove Albion have loaned 10 players, 21 and under, out in the summer transfer window. The likes of Moran, Turns, Leonard, Perpion. Jackson here under pressure. Back to Reed.
There we go, Teddy!
Villa start to turn the screw.
Come, go!
Albion deep inside their own half. Tasker. Hinchy.
Good, Teddy. Good, go, Matty, good. Good.
Side as. Ball on this side.
Slater. Duffus. Calls for patience from Shannon Ruth in the Albion dugout. It was a poor ball by Atom.
There we go,
Ben Jackson under pressure.
Go on, Matty. There we go. There we go.
Tommy Reed just about sneaks it through to Sammy Shouchane. Nicely done. Wonderful distribution from the Albion's number one. And now the Seagulls moving in the right direction with Tasker. Baker Boerty, early cross, Flower waits, cleared up in the air by Rowe. Where will this one drop? Duffus leaps for it. Slater for company, nicely brought down by Duffus. Shouchane, dragged back to Hinchy. Oh, it was almost brilliant. So beautifully constructed by the Seagulls. And Hinchy almost picks out the top corner. Duffus plucked it out the sky. Hinchelwood, first time to Shouchane. Shouchane with the drag back to Hinchy. And it's a really smart save by Philip Marshall. Baker Boerty with the resulting corner. Shouchane again. Curls one towards the back post. Bodies jump. Hinchy again with a strike. This one's over the bar. Couple of chances in quick succession for the Albion skipper. The first forcing a good save of Philip Marshall. The second one leans back and guides it over the top.
Now we fight. We fight. Yeah, good, good. Good, Teddy. Yeah, Josh.
Ealing. Baker Boerty won it back well off Frankie Ealing, who had a tug out. Benico Baker Boerty. He'll have fond memories of this competition. His wonderful strike versus QPR last year brought the Albion back to 3-3 from 3-0 down in the group stages before Andrew Moran netted the Albion's fourth in 25 minutes to keep the Albion in the competition. They would eventually bow out in their final game, losing 2-1 to Derby County. Hinchy, lovely switch of play. Slater just left the ball behind. Baker Boerty beaten to it by Tommy O'Reilly. Travis Patterson. Haven't seen much of Villa's left winger in this one. O'Reilly again.
Move the ball. Hey, wider, just wider. Christian! Go, Christian, go.
Josh Feeney. One back by Jacob Slater. Here's Joshua Duffus. So quick, so strong on the ball, and he's won the Albion a free kick. Just 8 appearances in the PL2 last year for Joshua Duffus. Played in all 4 of the Albion's PL2 games thus far this season.
Great set on the last one.
Really important season for his development, and he's won the Albion a free kick in the final third. Hinchelwood. Hinchy. Hinchelwood again. Nicely done. Now the Albion starting to get Those two conductors of the orchestra on the ball, and Hinshelwood and Hinchy. Shushain to Flower, back to goal, holding it up. Heavy touch from Tasker. Nicely done to keep it alive.
Tommy! Go, Tommy! Behind the ball! Good.
Atom. Slater wants the return from Duffus. Hinshelwood. Floats one out to Baker Bowerty. This is better from the Seagulls. Cross comes in from Baker Bowerty. There's Flower. Again, it's up in the air. Feeney nods clear. Tasker looking for Shushain. Teddy Rowe to Kellerman. The Villains will try and counter. Tommy O'Reilly, but the long legs of Ben Jackson can cut it out. Coolly done by Tommy Reid to find Atom. Superb from the Seagulls. Baiting Villa onto them, playing out the pressure. Slater. Duffus. He's cut inside Rowe. He'll find the side netting. And that move started with Tommy Reid between the Albion sticks. Villa applying the pressure. Albion breaking out of it, and Duffus stood up Tristan Rowe, took him on the inside, but couldn't find the finish. Kerr Smith. Ealing. Tommy O'Reilly. Past Jackson once and twice. And is eventually sent tumbling.
Trav! Tristan! Trav! Travis! Tommy, get on it! Trish, get that position. Get the two of that. Trav! Tristan,
Villa will have a free kick. Just under 20 minutes to go till half time. There's Brighton Hove Albion 0, Aston Villa 0 on My Albion TV.
Rico,
best chance of the game falling to Jack Hinchy, who stung the palms of Philip Marshall.
Tristan, deeper.
Villa yet to really test Tommy Reid. A chance perhaps to do that here.
Rico.
Two in the Albion wall. Shushain and Flower.
Yes,
Villa piling bodies forward. Whipped in towards the 6-yard box, headed down and loose in the area. Still bouncing in front of goal. Rico Richards almost sets himself. Hinchy able to escape with the ball. Duffus has Shushain for company. Space on the far right for Flower. Slater busting a lung to join in, and Duffus will go alone. And it's given away a free kick. And that time, no joy for Duffus up the left flank. And commits a foul against Josh Feeney. Former England under-16 youth captain is Feeney. Takes the free kick short to his keeper Marshall. Kerr Smith. Looped back to Feeney. Not a ball he particularly wanted to deal with, but deal with it he does. Hinshelwood guided down to Baker Bowerty. Deft touch from Jack Hinshelwood. That's a name more than familiar to Albion fans already. His progress has been pretty groundbreaking through the Seagulls youth ranks. Only stepped up to the 21s last year and was playing for Roberto De Zerbi's side in the summer series in the United States. Startling talent in the middle of the Albion's midfield. Shushain putting the pressure on. Back to Marshall. Teddy Rowe. Kerr Smith. Mikel Barnes will lean back and open up his boot to play a long ball out to Rico Richards. Plucked out the sky, lifted towards Kellerman. And Ben Jackson does his best Lewis Dunk impression with the chest back to goalkeeper Tommy Reid. And where have we seen that one before?
Yes, Omari, together. Well done.
I wonder where he learnt that one, Ben Jackson. Guided back into the arms of Tommy Reid off the chest.
Good, 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 Tommy. Good.
Baker Bowerty looking for Tasker. He's beyond Ealing. Bright start this from Tasker. Shane was waiting, headed away at the 6-yard box. Hinchy. Baker Bowerty wriggling for space. Now Jack Hinchelwood laid back off to Tasker. Seagulls starting to shift forward. Deflected away, Albion corner kick on the right. Quarter of an hour to go till half-time. Charlie Tasker, his first appearance of the season, looked very bright for the Albion up the right flank. The youngest player in the squad today at 17. Baker Bowerty to take the corner kick. Slater waiting all alone at the edge of the 18-yard box. Instead it's in towards the near post. Atom was waiting, runs for Shane. Can't find the space on his left boot. He's kept it alive.
Good Teddy. Good Teddy there. Good Tommy.
Hinchelwood, Hinchy. Albion's midfield just starting to tick. We have wrestled control of this first half in the last 15 minutes or so. But still searching for that first goal. It remains Brighton Hove Albion 0, Aston Villa 0 in Lancing. In this group stage opener of the Premier League Cup. 8 groups of 4, 32 of the best academies in the country. Seagulls have won this competition, but not at under 21 level, under 17 level, back in 2020, 2021. Hinchy. Baker Bowerty looking for Shane. Rolled along the 6-yard box. Flower and Duffus were both in there, but it only runs into the arms of Philip Marshall. It is that final ball which the Albion are still searching for. Shane very almost found it. It was Duffus that was closest to it, but Marshall leaps on it. Jackson, he was one of those in the under-17 PL Cup winning side back in 2021. Shane, Perpion, Moran, Casper Nilsson, Adela Fire, Marcus Eiffel, the others still with the Albion Academy. Duffus towards that left flank, cross fizzed right along the face of goal. Has to be nodded behind by Smith. Albion corner kick. It will be Sami Shane to take. Fresh off that first senior call-up for the Tunisian national team. It's been a brilliant week for Sami Shane, turning 20 as well. Love to cap it with a goal contribution tonight. Lifted in towards the back post, fumbled by goalkeeper Philip Marshall. Hinchelwood lurking. Chucked out by Marshall. Into the path of Rico Richards.
Yes, Tommy, yes, Mars.
Ball held up slightly for him. Richards. Mikael Barnes. Blocked by Hinchelwood. Behind for a Villa corner kick. Have been threatening on the counter-attack, Aston Villa. And Hinchelwood had to take evasive action there. Leaping in front of Mikael Barnes' effort to see it behind.
Mikel, go a bit there.
Teddy
Go
Rowe to
there,
take.
more. Yeah.
In from Rowe. Into a good area. Nodded on by Richards. Drops for O'Reilly. And bounces agonisingly wide from a Villa perspective.
Well done, great delivery, Ted. Keep going, Tom.
Best chance of the game for Aston Villa. The ball in was brilliant from Rowe. It bounced out to O'Reilly, not for the first time tonight. And he bounces his shot wide. Shushain. Ben Jackson.
No with the keeper, remember. Remember that. Good. Christian ready. No, Rico, you okay, Rico?
No Latham.
You want to jump, move.
Began his career with Hertha Berlin before joining RB Leipzig. Turned down the new contracts with the RB group to move to Brighton and Hove Albion. Had plenty of offers. The German Youth International. Hinchy picks out Slater. Early cross from Slater. Who's on the end of it? Drops for Hinshelwood. Can he get it out his feet? Saved by Marshall. A sighter for Jack Hinshelwood. He can hit them. 5 goals last year in the PL2. And just stings the palms of Philip Marshall. Kellerman just clipped by Jack Hinchy. And the referee wants a word with the Albion skipper. Just a talking to this time.
Look at Tristan! Yes, Travis! Keep going!
Tommy Reed able to hack clear. A long way out from his goal. Villa will have a throw midway inside Albion territory. Time ticking towards that half-time whistle. Travis Patterson, Tasker on his back. O'Reilly runs into Hinshelwood, who's none too happy about that decision. Hinchy wants a word with the referee. Hinshelwood not the only Albion player disagreeing with that. It will be a Villa free kick. Game just stuttering slightly at the tail end of this first half. It was in full flow around the 25-minute mark. Breaking down with a series of set pieces. Most balls that Teddy Rowe has put in thus far this evening have caused problems for the Albion back line, and you wouldn't bet against him doing it again. Rowe standing over it right-footed. Something different this time. Kellerman can't sort his feet out. Hinchy runs into Teddy Rowe, bounces through to Kellerman. Surely made a motion towards that ball for the offside flag to come up. Will remain a Villa ball on that far side.
Yes, Tristan.
Certainly looked like Kellerman started to sprint for that ball before pulling out.
Movement.
Nonetheless, it will be a Villa throw.
Wide out, Josh! Wide out! Yes, here, make a run, make a run, make a run, make a run! Yes, there we go!
Feeney.
Go, Tristan! Go! Go, boy! Yes, we go. Yes, we go.
Throwing goes the way of the Albion.
Good. Yes, come on, ready here.
Atom.
Ready. Tristan.
Right, Tommy. You ready, Tommy? Go left a bit. Yes. Go.
Frankie Ealing slides in on Baker Boaty. The two continue to tussle. A tussle which Ealing wins, but Ben Jackson's there to help the wide man out.
Great receive on the other one to change play. Well done.
First half in danger of petering out. Villa starting to wrestle control of possession. Tristan Rowe finding more and more space up this right-hand side. Rico Richards. Alarm bells ringing here for the Seagulls. Teddy Rowe will line one up, but strikes it over the top of the bar. Can never quite keep it down. Driven hard off his laces.
Good calmness on that one.
Good, Tristan, good.
Was never really troubling Tommy Reid.
No, with the keeper, remember. Good, good, Tommy. Go, Michael. Good. Good. Good, Travis. Why is he jumping? Why is he jumping alone? Good, good, Tommy, good. Wait. Josh. No. Don't jump, Tommy.
Shushane. Tasker. Baker Boaty made a run forward. Tasker goes back to Sammy Shushane. Jack Hinchelwood. Villa sat ever so deep now.
Behind the ball, Tony O'Malley, good. Relax there. Good.
No Latham.
The ball.
Hinchy. Hinchelwood, lovely one-touch passing from the Seagulls. Hinchy. Louis Flower. Is there a chance at the end of this possession for the Albion? Atom.
Good, Travis.
Slater. Nice touch to take him away from Richards. Duffus just clipped. It'll be an Albion throw. The move applauded by Shannon Ruth. Took over, of course, when Andrew Crofts was added to Roberto De Zerbi's first team coaching staff. It's been a very successful appointment. Won 13 of his 24 PL2 league matches. And even more success in the Cups. Albion reaching the knockout stages of the Premier League International Cup last season, a competition they are taking part in this year as well. First game on October 4th against Valencia. Hoping to bring that one to you on My Albion TV as well. Slater. Hinchy. Now Shushane. Hinchy. Incredibly tight around the edge of that 18-yard box. Might just take a moment of magic from someone in blue and white to unlock the door. 2 to go till half-time. Still locked at 0-0 in Lancing. Shushane. Lovely ball. Heavy touch by Slater. Can Duffus keep it alive? Just about. Runs back for Jacob Slater. In towards the 6-yard box. Flower with the acrobatics. Tasker.
Behind the ball, Omari, relax with Tommy.
Mari Kellyman just moving a little gingerly for Aston Villa. Hasn't had much joy in the opening 45 minutes of this one.
Nico. How can you stop him taking the touch inside you if it travels? Have a think what you can do.
Yes, yes, Tommy! Yes, Tommy! Go.
Yeah, go on,
Yeah, Rico, go!
Slater to Duffus,
Go.
using his frame well.
Go. Stay again, behind the ball! Together!
All Albion to end the half. Shushane. Now Baker Boerty can inject some pace into the move and wins a free kick for the Seagulls. So good at that, Beniko Baker Boerty. Loves to drift in field from the flanks. Such an elusive runner with the ball. He's won a free kick for the Albion here. It's the change of pace, the change of direction, and the clip on the end of his toe from Travis Patterson. .1 minute of added time coming up. Into that minute we go. Sammy Shushane, a set-piece specialist, stands over the free kick.
Christian, look at the back post! Number 9, Jay! Jay! High ball! Christian, look at the 9!
In from Shushane towards the back post, just beyond Jackson. Albion want the corner kick. Looks like they'll get it. Just time for a second successive Shushane delivery.
Come on, Josh! Come on, Kat! Only one, Rico! Why is Rico going
Deeper
there?
this time from Shushane. Another corner kick for the Albion, but they won't have time for this one. A thoroughly engaging tactical tussle in the opening 45 minutes, but still no goals. Half-time in Lancing. Brighton and Hove Albion 0, Aston Villa 0.
Sorry.
Welcome back to second half coverage of Brighton and Hove Albion versus Aston Villa in the Premier League Cup. 0-0 at the break then. Both sides with chances. Albion shading the possession, probably shading the better of the goal-mouth action as well, but no way through. Aston Villa always a threat on the counter-attack. Tommy O'Reilly, a player for them that was really making things happen in the final third. We remain how we started, locked at 0-0. Seagulls going through their final paces before the restart. No changes that we can see for either side. No doubt those will come. Development, of course, always the priority in these fixtures. And Amari Kellyman, despite hobbling at the end of the first half, is back out to lead the line for Villa in the second. O'Reilly. Teddy Rowe. Will either side be able to find a way through in this second 45 minutes? Scooped out towards the left. Kellyman with the dummy. Very almost came off. Ben Jackson. You really can see the DNA of Roberto De Zerbi's first team right through this Albion under-21 side and everything they do, particularly when the centre-backs and the goalkeeper Tommy Reid have the ball. Fingerprints of the Italian all over the Albion under-21s. O'Reilly. Kellyman slips. Tommy Reid. Atom knocking it straight out of play. Will be a Villa corner kick. Teddy Rowe to take the in swinger then from the left. Deep towards the back post, headed down, brilliant save. Tommy Reid still not cleared, and it's bundled home through the crowd. It's Kerr Smith wheeling away in celebration, and Villa take the lead right at the start of the second half. The initial save from Tommy Reid was outstanding, but Aston Villa do just enough to see it over the line. Kerr Smith prodding out a toe, and it's Brighton and Hove Albion 0, Aston Villa 1. The deliveries of Teddy Rowe have caused problems all evening long. Another ball into a dangerous area, nodded down, smart stop by Albion's number 1, but no one could scramble it clear. And Kerr Smith, who doesn't score many, will be credited with that one, tapping it through the crowd. Hinshelwood and Hinchy over the restart. Somewhat of a sucker punch for the Seagulls. They've controlled the end of the first half and straight out the blocks, they've fallen behind. Tommy Reid to Hinshelwood. Duffus. It's Flower, in fact, that's taken away from the ball. Barnes to Richards. Villains with the bit between their teeth. Lifted in towards Kellerman. Tasker. Will nod back to Tommy Reid.
Don't go there, don't go there. Yeah, good, good. Look at this one. Look at this one. Frankie. Hey, no, stay there, Tommy. Go with the keeper. We don't want that. Winning. Clear.
Nodded on. Slater. Space for Jacob Slater to run into. Drilled hard and low along the 6-yard box. Behind by Josh Feeney.
Just pick up quickly, Tommy, Teddy.
Shushain with the signal from the corner kick.
Tommy 11.
Can the Albion respond instantly to falling behind? In from Shushain. Flapped at by Marshall.
Come on, Rico! Pick up.
Slater emerges with it. Shushain again. Another good looking ball. Hinshelwood's header. Glanced past the post. He found space in the 18-yard box, Jack Hinshelwood. Ball just behind him, craning the neck muscles to try and force it goalward.
We're 5. We're 5. It's on. Yes, Benny.
How will Shannon Ruth's side respond? Smith, the goal scorer. Overhit by Tasker.
Yes, Kristen Teddy. They're doing with 5.
As I mentioned, Villa have won this competition back in 2017-18, losing just one game en route to the final. They beat defending champions Swansea City on penalties. Kerr Smith. Ben Jackson. Pressure arriving from Travis Patterson. Jack Hinshelwood. Phil Hill needs to be a big figure in this second half if the Seagulls are going to get back in it. Duffus. Hinshelwood. Lifted into the path of Shushain. Slater. And again, it's just beyond Flower. Another nicely constructed move by the Seagulls. But the final ball still yet to find the feet of Louis Flower. He's not had much to work with thus far.
Don't jump.
Atom. Kellyman slips again. The first player to do that this evening. Jackson. Baker Bowerty. Shushain. Smashed away. Atom with defending to do. She does very well indeed. Ben Jackson came through the ranks at Watford before switching to Sussex in July of 2020. First season playing almost full time with the 21s. Hinshelwood and Hinchy. Nice combination. Duffus. Blue and white shirts flooding into the penalty area. Slater can't pick any of them out. Blocked well by Tristan Rowe.
Go boys! Organise, Kerr.
Another Albion set piece.
Start organising, Josh. Start organising. Mars, who you got? Go on, Josh. Go on, Ted. In the hole, Teddy.
Looping from Shushain. Flicked on by Smith and Atom. Very almost deflecting at home. Didn't have much time to react to that one, Noel Atom. Kerr Smith trying to clear it. Flicked it into Albion's big number 5. Couldn't quite deflect it goalward.
We five.
Just under 10 minutes gone in the second half. It is Albion 0, Aston Villa 1.
Yes, Teddy!
And Teddy Rowe set piece proving the Albion's undoing.
Why is not going Teddy there? Go inside, Tommy, O'Malley together. Don't jump. Wait, Tommy, wait. Yes, Travis. Yes, Travis.
Jackson. Tasker. Baker Boerty. Space to switch play. Rico Richards back defending for Villa. Here's Hinchelwood. Shushain looking for Duffus. Josh Feeney able to clear. Atom under pressure from Kellerman. And again, the German Youth International does well. Just feel that goal's shaken the Seagulls slightly. Albion throw on that far left-hand side. Seagulls coming off a 6th place finish in the Premier League 2. Really impressive last campaign. Tasker. Slightly behind Flower. Hasn't quite run for Louis Flower in his Albion debut. Nice challenge from Ben Jackson. Excellently timed by the Albion centre-back.
Tristan and you in front. We fight, Josh. Come. He's slow.
Villa able to break away with it. Albion pressure broken, and now chances perhaps opening up for Villa. Ealing continues his run, and he's beaten Reed at the near post. Villa break the Albion press, and Frankie Ealing reaps the rewards. The left back bombing forward up the left flank. Seagulls scrambling back, trying to recover, and Ealing cuts inside of Jackson and buries it in the bottom left. It's Albion 0, Villa 2. Set pieces and counter-attacks were how Villa were hurting the Seagulls in the first half, couldn't find a way through, but it's a set piece and a counter-attack which has put them 2 up in the second half. Not been too involved today, Frankie Ealing, the left back. But Albion just got their press slightly wrong. You could hear the instructions being barked from the dugout. And the spaces really began to open up. And 2 goals from 2 defenders have made it Albion 0, Villa 2, right at the start of this second half. No strangers to a comeback, our Shannon Ruth side. Overturned a 2-0 deficit at Chelsea already in the league. Overturned a 3-0 deficit in this competition last year against Queen's Park Rangers. I have to find some of that magic here now. O'Reilly. Kellerman.
Come on! Let's go, Tommy. Relax now. Relax now.
Kerr Smith.
Again,
Mikel Barnes. And now Villa able to enjoy the luxury of possession.
Now we can.
They have executed their game plan excellently. Tristan Rowe.
Wait there, wait there. Frankie, come here. Go there.
Tommy O'Reilly. Cute touch with an outstretched toe, but Hinches won it back for the Seagulls. Options left and right. Delays the pass, crossed in by Shushain. And Marshall, first to it again. No one can tuck it home for the Seagulls. That has been somewhat of a pattern this evening.
Come on, Travis. Come on,
Enough crosses have gone into the box for the Albion. And they've all ended up in the arms of Marshall.
Yes, Tommy.
O'Reilly.
Yes, sir.
Ealing scored the second of Villa's goals.
And again. Time. Relax.
Barnes doesn't quite find his range with the switch of play. Teddy Rowe. Tristan Rowe. Amari Kellerman, again on the end of a rather heavy challenge. Been in the wars somewhat, Amari Kellerman. Made his England under-19 debut in the latest set of internationals. Got an assist in his second game for England at under-19 level. But it's the Seagulls that are going to make the switches. Joshua Duffus will make way. And on comes Mark O'Mahony. Spinning fine goal-scoring Fettel. Looks like we're also going to see Rory McConville for the Albion as well. Two players that have been mainstays of Shannon Ruth's side to start the season. So off comes Duffus, on comes O'Mahony. And Atom will make way for Rory McConville. Well, if anyone can spark the Albion into life, it's Mark O'Mahony, averaging a goal involvement every 74 minutes since his arrival in January from Cork City. He's got about half an hour tonight to try and come up with some magic. Challenge from Flower. Will be a Villa throw on the right, and Flower will pick up a yellow card, and those that pick that up on the audio, I don't think will need me to tell you why Flower has gone into the book there. Comments towards the linesman and judged to be worthy of a yellow by referee Matthew Russell. Apologies for any bad language you may have picked up on our microphones. Kellyman. Flower to Shane. He's clattered, but the Seagulls will keep moving forward with Baker Bowerty. It's 4-on-4 if they can get this right. Baker Bowerty will go alone. It's a good strike. It's a great finish. Albion have one back. Benico Baker Bowerty with the goal. He had options. He went himself and was rewarded for that decision. Only one thing in his mind as he cut it onto that left boot and lashed it beyond Marshall. It's Albion 1, Villa 2 in Lancing. Is this the start of something special again in the Premier League Cup? Kellerman over the restart for Villa.
Come on, boys!
O'Reilly, tripped by Hinchy. Have to be careful, Hinchy, starting to tot up these incidents. Free kick Albion just shy of halfway. Offside flag up against Kellerman. McConville. Tasker against Ealing. Tasker's done well. Albion want a corner kick. It's been given as a goal kick. Much to the frustration of Tasker and Baker Bowerty, but again, good industry from Charlie Tasker. It has been a really hard-working performance by the 17-year-old right-back. Certainly giving Shannon Ruth something to think about in the coming weeks. That position being locked down by the Swedish youth international Kasper Nilsson for most of this season. But options always healthy. Here he is again. Gets out his feet nicely. Tommy Reeds. Rory McConville. Played just 3 days ago against Ukraine for the Northern Ireland under-21s. O'Mahony. Fouled off the ball. Referee says nothing doing. Mikel Barnes gets away with a little bit of a loose touch.
Keep going, keep going.
Villa throw 10 yards shy of halfway on the right. Still to come for the Albion in this competition. Games against Hull and Swansea in the group stages. That's a guarantee. We'll bring you those ones on My Albion TV. Home and away. Tommy O'Reilly. Travis Patterson. Haven't said his name too much this evening. Ealing. Wants a free kick, won't get one. Hinshelwood. Poor ball from Jack Hinshelwood, and he knows it. Game getting scrappier. Intensity just turning up a notch since the goals have flooded in at the start of this second half. Albion 1, Villa 2. 25 minutes left to play in this opening group game of the Premier League Cup.
Go, Miguel! Yes, sir, ready. Yes, Travis. Let's go, Miguel.
Baker Bowerty.
Hey!
Bounces off Tasker. Hinchy. Now Jack Hinshelwood. Tristan Rose pinched it back for the Villains. Hinshelwood tracking his progress. And Hinshelwood's fouled off the ball. And the referee will have to step in. And in the last 5-10 minutes, the number of fouls we've seen in that manner have increased. And Tristan Rowe goes into the book for Villa. He's walking a tightrope for the last 25 of this one. O'Mahony and McConville on for the Seagulls. Can they make a difference? Of course, their minutes limited because of their involvement in the recent international break. That's the case for a lot of these Albion youngsters. Shane with the first senior call-up, but didn't play for Tunisia. One of the Albion youngsters out on loan also played. Cam Perpion scoring a brilliant free kick for Australia's under-23s. Andy Moran scoring for the Republic of Ireland under-21s. Ben Jackson to Shane. Flower is fouled. Albion will keep on moving forward. Hinchy just wanted a little bit too much time, as did Patterson. Here's Baker Bowerty, Tasker to his right, delays the pass. Patterson back in with a lunging challenge, but so too is McConville. Game opening up now. Hinchy. Baker Bowerty. Shane, beautifully done to Hinshelwood. Tasker back across goal, there's O'Mahony. But eventually scrambled clear by Villa. And Kellerman will try and run at Jackson. Not got too much in the way of support. Rico Richards now joining in the middle. And in the end, nicely done by Jacob Slater, making his third appearance of the season. The Albion players that started this game looking out on their feet. It is a sweltering evening in Sussex. Sun dipping behind the clouds, but, or dipping behind the downs, should I say, but still plenty of humidity. You can see Tasker and Hinshelwood down on their haunches. So Villa man down in the middle in the form of Teddy Rowe, and the Albion will make another change. And on comes Brodie Pert. A fantastic story. Brodie Pert signed for the Seagulls this summer from Basingstoke, down in the 7th tier of English football, and now playing for a Premier League football club. And wouldn't he love to announce himself as an Albion player with an equaliser in this Premier League Cup game. Shane and Tasker receiving instruction from Shannon Ruth. Around a year in charge now for Shannon Ruth. Really made an impact with the Albion's under-21s. And Villa will make their first change as well. Todd Alcock will come on, and Mikael Barnes will make way. On comes Alcock, off comes Mikael Barnes. Like for like swap in midfield.
Tommy! Yeah, head. Okay. Omar is there, yeah? He's there.
Reed.
Wait. Go there.
Rory McConville.
Yes, Frankie. You have one here, Travis, as well. Good. Yeah. Good position there. Good position, Travis.
Lifted forward. It's far too direct from Ben Jackson. Villa will have a goal kick. Marshall just taking a little bit longer over retrieving the ball than perhaps he was in the first half. Villa haven't had quite the start to the season they would have wanted. Lost their opening 2 fixtures. A thrilling 4-4 draw with Manchester City followed. They did win last time out versus Derby County, but it wasn't a game for the purists. A mistake leading to almost every goal in that game. Defensive errors all over the pitch. To triumph 3-1. This is, of course, an impressive academy. Most known for producing the likes of Jack Grealish, Jacob Ramsey in recent years, going back. Gabby Bonglahor and Gareth Barry came through the ranks with the Birmingham club. Rico Richards to run at Slater. Laid into the path of O'Reilly. Brilliant save, Tommy Reed. And the offside flag does eventually come up. Always looked likely. It was well beyond the Albion back line when he received that one. Tommy O'Reilly. And the only surprise that the flag didn't come up sooner. Here's the substitute Alcock. Now Ealing. And challenge from McConville. Shane. Thrown into O'Mahony. Tussled off the pitch. And wins a free kick for the Albion as well. Using his strength there. Well, Mark O'Mahony. 4 in 4 this season. He'll take his place in the penalty area. And what quality does Sammy Shane have with this set piece? Slater will stand over it as well. It will be the right boot of Shane toward the back post. Hinshelwood's header. It's given as a corner kick. Albion will have another chance to swing one in.
Come on, Josh, Frankie! Todd, you go short! Todd, you go short. Number 10, we stay doing that. Teddy, get out, Teddy.
Brodie Pert offering short. Instead it's swung in by Baker Bowerty. Not a good delivery. Shane will track it down. Into the final quarter of an hour we go in Lancing. Still the Albion trail by just the goal. Hinchy. Intercepted by Travis Patterson. As well to shift away from Brodie Pert. Alcock. Patterson again. His involvement in this second half has increased significantly. Tasker as well to turn away from O'Reilly once and again, not getting too much help from the official. Pert. So Mahoney. Hinshelwood calling for options ahead of him. It's been a while since the Seagulls have created anything clear-cut. Pert. Bounce through to Shane. There's the delivery, but it's beyond everyone in the middle. And Baker Bowerty has gone down off the ball at the back of the penalty area. Doesn't look good. It's always concerning when you see a player go down with no one anywhere near them. And Josh Feeney assisting Baker Bowerty in stretching, so you hope this is just a bit of cramp or perhaps something muscular. But it has been an exhilarating second half and the goals have flown in during it. This is how Villa took the lead. Nodded goalward, first by Kellerman. Wasn't cleared properly and then stabbed over the line by Kerr Smith. They doubled their advantage with a swift counter-attack. Frankie Ealing shifting inside of Jackson. A really clever finish at the near post, catching out Tommy Reid. But the Albion would get one back. Baker Bowerty, a superb strike from range. Philip Marshall nowhere near it, and it is Baker Bowerty that's down on the deck. Albion going to make another substitution. Marcus Eiffel will come on. Baker Bowerty will make way. He can't carry on. And that's like for like as well. Eiffel, another player that loves to cut in on his right boot from that left wing. Superb strike last season versus Feyenoord. Doing exactly that for the Seagulls. Tasker over halfway.
Hey, Omari, don't jump, don't jump. Four, we see. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Don't jump.
Pert.
Next time, don't jump. Go. That way. Shape again.
Hinshelwood. Looking for that creative spark, looking for something ahead of him. Has to go sideways again. McConville. Him and Hinshelwood just edging ever closer to the edge of that Villa penalty area. This is where you need your difference makers for the Seagulls. Jack Hinshelwood certainly is one of those.
Yes, Tommy. Yes, Tommy. Don. He said Don.
Jackson. Here's Eiffel. Fresh legs for Marcus Eiffel, of course.
Yes, Tommy.
Long switch from Hinshelwood. Pert trying to chest it down the wrong side of Patterson, who will try and see it out. That ball's not got too much pace on it. And Patterson wins the free kick. Perhaps just a little bit of naivety from Brodie Pert. Marshall to take the resulting free kick. Smashed into the night sky. Tasker. One real positive of this evening, you have to say, is the performance of Charlie Tasker. That step for under-18s to under-21s could be a big one. Players like Jack Hinshelwood and Shami Shushain were going through that themselves last year. Tasker, with his first outing for the 21s, doing very well. Hinshelwood. Given away. Rico Richards. Player that Aston Villa pinched from the Academy of Derby County. And the Seagulls have pinched possession here. Eiffel. Hinshelwood back toward Eiffel. They're in the penalty area, but it's struck into the side netting by O'Mahony. First glimpse of goal from the in-form Irishman. The ball, I think, was intended for Eiffel. O'Mahony took over, struck it across his body, but it's into the side netting. Just under 10 left to play. Last season, the Albion went out in the group stages on goal difference, just 2 goals. They did also start last campaign with a defeat to AFC Bournemouth. Offside flag up against Eiffel. Last season in this competition, it was the Seagulls' first venture into the PL Cup for 5 years after a long break. 3 years prior to that, they did have a successful spell of making the quarter-finals in 3 successive campaigns between 2015 and 2018. Really feel as though they deserve something from this one tonight. Ben Jackson. Rory McConville. Pert. Shushain wanted the ball just a little bit quicker.
Wait, Frankie, well done. Yes, Travis, come here, Travis. Go, 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 Travis. Wait, wait, wait. Wait, Travis. Travis, get out.
Brody Pert, as I said, arrived this summer from Basingstoke Town. Given away by McConville. Stayed in play, and the Albion could be in trouble here because Travis Patterson's in space on the left. Flashed along the 18-yard box. Slater there to deal with it. Hinchy. Pert. For Shushain. Was clipped as the ball was trickling out of play. Right in front of Villa head coach Anido Igiates.
Yes, O'Mahony, well done. Go, Shane. Shane, Tommy inside. Go, go, Tommy. Yes, Tommy, ready. Ready there. Wait, Todd. Wait, Todd. Inside, Todd. Yes, Travis.
Tasker. On goes Charlie Tasker. Hinshelwood switches it back out to the right. All the time in the world for Pert to cross into a good area. Shushain with the scorpion kick. Hinchy. Tasker, again, just didn't want it on that left boot. Villa will break. Kellerman wins a free kick. Didn't look like Matthew Russell wanted to give that. Linesman flagged on the far side. The referee is going to take a name.
Alan, come on. Stay, yeah? Stay. Yes, Travis!
Marshall
Yeah, well done!
only picks out Per.
Wait.
Couldn't quite time his jump.
Keep it moving, please, Reds. Pretty left, Brody!
Hinchy wins the ball back for the Seagulls. Clever turn by McConville. But still, Villa resolute without the ball. They have been fantastic defensively this evening. Made life incredibly difficult for the Albion. They've sat off the Seagulls, but it's worked well for them. And still they hold out. 5 minutes left to play.
Good, Tommy, last beat.
Ben Jackson. Hinshelwood having to drop deeper and deeper to try and pull the strings. Hinchy. And now a chance perhaps for Eiffel. And it's saved by Marshall. Well, that time the Albion were able to create. Hinchy to Eiffel. Never quite ran kindly for him. And it was blocked behind before it could even reach Marshall, in fact. Villa will make another substitution. And Teddy Rowe will make way. And on his place comes Aaron O'Reilly.
Left, let him get in.
Well, with the ball, Teddy Rowe's ability to influence the game has been limited, but from set pieces, Rowe caused all sorts of problems from corners and free kicks, and eventually put Villa in front by putting it right on the head of Tommy Reid at the start of this second half. On comes Aaron O'Reilly in his place. Albion with a set piece of their own. In towards the penalty spot. Climbing highest was Rory McConville. Towered above the Villa back line. The contact was good, but couldn't place it past the arms of Philip Marshall. It's past the post. Ben Jackson felt he was fouled. Tasker. Here's Jack Hinshelwood, a Sussex boy, attended Chichester High School, same school as Albion first team centre back Adam Webster. Pert. And McConville. Hinchy on the half turn. Eiffel. Spaces out wide. Slater. In it goes towards O'Mahony. It's behind, but for an Albion corner kick. Taken short to Eiffel. Work to Slater. Slater lifting it into the mixer. Will it run towards the back post? Hinchy can keep it alive. Struck by McConville. Saved by Marshall. Albion knocking on the door.
Go, Marty!
Here's Tasker. Lifted in towards the back post. McConville there again. But again, it's into the advertising hoardings. Slater just chipping it up towards the back post. Wouldn't quite sit for Hinchy. McConville struck through the crowd, but Marshall was there to save. Second attempt landed perfectly onto the head of Rory McConville. But again, the Northern Irish centre-back just couldn't quite guide it home. and glances it wide of the mark. Into the 90th minute we go in Lancing. The first half flowed back and forth as the two sides felt each other out. The second half, despite the 3 goals, has been more stagnant. It's been scrappier, it's been bittier. Hinshelwood just taking over halfway. Sprays one out to the left. Settled by Jacob Slater. Hinshelwood opening up his stride through midfield. Tasker can't pick out Per. Villa will surge forward again. Big challenge from Hinchy. Not once, but twice, Jack Hinchy wins it back for the Albion. Fantastic work in midfield. Here's Hinshelwood, but he's got it all wrong. 8 minutes of added time coming up at the end of this one. Just the one at the end of the first half, making up for it in the second. Philip Marshall to take the goal kick. England under-19 international. Part of the side that won the FA Youth Cup with Aston Villa Academy, beating Liverpool in the final. As I said, they may have been playing a tier below the Albion Academy for the last few years in the PL2 Division 2, but Birmingham club have a proud history. The Young Lions, as they're known, of success at youth level. McConville. Early delivery. Marshall first to it again. It has just been that final ball for the Seagulls. Next up for the Albion, it is against the senior side, Shrewsbury, in the EFL Trophy. Offers a different challenge, a different opportunity for development. That's what it is all about, of course, but those out there today will still be desperate to start their Premier League Cup campaign with a win. McConville able just to slow things down, standing on the ball. Hinchy stretching forward again. Onto his left boot. Won it back, Jack Hinchy. Overlapping run from Slater will do well to keep that in and can't. And the chance goes a begging almost every claret and blue shirt inside their own 18-yard box when the Seagulls have the ball. And there's 2 more names to be thrown into the fray as well. Kobe Moore, a centre forward, will come on. And so too will Kyrie Pierre. Let's see who makes way. So Rico Richards will make way for Pierre. And off comes Amari Kellyman for Kobe Moore. Well, Amari Kellyman might not have got a goal today, but he has worked incredibly hard without the ball, relentlessly sprinting to prevent either of the Albion centre-backs playing forwards. He's done that for about 93 minutes and will make way for Kobe Moore. And as I said, Kyrie Pierre, the other substitution, coming on for Rico Richards. Hinshelwood really starting to play that quarterback role now for the Seagulls. Proctor's attempted cross is blocked. Only a throw. Halfway through stoppage time. 4 more minutes of it still to come. Eiffel thinks he's fouled.
come this way. Josh, come this way. Josh.
Tommy Reed will join in for the Seagulls and be an extra option. Here's Jack Hinchy.
Who's going there?
Driven ball out wide to the right. Can Tasker keep it in play? Pert. First time cross towards the back post and into the roof of the net by the substitute Marcus Eiffel. Albion have their equaliser in the 95th minute. Brodie Pert, the new arrival, swinging one in towards the back post. From Basingstoke Town to Brighton, and there's Marcus Eiffel at the back post to nod it into the roof of the net. The substitutes making the difference. Two subs combine to pull the Albion back level. It's another dramatic comeback in the Premier League Cup. And it could get a whole lot better yet for the Albion, because here's Hinchelwood. Slater will shoot. Surely they couldn't, could they? Driven through the crowd, and Marshall can scoop it up. We could see what that goal meant to both involved. It was a hopeful cross, if anything, from Pert. Struck it right-footed, hung it up towards the back post. It was begging for someone just to crash that area of the 6-yard box. That's exactly what Eiffel did. A brave header. No one wants it more than the Albion's number 14. And now it's all about concentration from a Villa perspective to make sure this doesn't turn into 3 points for the Seagulls. Hinchelwood. Slater. Minute and a half left to play. Seagulls looking likely at the moment. McConville. Hinchy. Nowhere to go. Shushain makes a darting run to the left of Hinchelwood. That's where it goes. Eiffel waits with intent around the edge of the 18-yard box. Slater in space out left. Hinchelwood will drift in field alone. McConville. Cross goes in towards the back post. Eiffel was waiting. Here's Slater. Offside flag up. Very late flag. Villa will have a free kick, and that might be that for the chances in this one. Jackson nods away from the Albion back line. Eiffel just smashed forward over the top by Mahoney. Will try and feed off the scraps. There's still time on the clock. Hinchelwood. Eiffel. O'Mahony joining in edge of the 6-yard box and parried behind by Philip Marshall. There will be time for the corner kick if the Seagulls are quick. Eiffel. Shushain. Not a good delivery. Might drop for Tasker. The 98 minutes have been and gone. Has to go in the penalty area for the Seagulls. And that might be that. Villa want the full-time whistle. Albion will have to hurry up if they want another chance. Half an eye on the referee, Matthew Russell. McConville. Shushain. Hinchy. It's patient, and Hinchelwood will have a go. And that might be that for Brighton and Hove Albion. They were running out of time. Hinshelwood pulls the trigger and it sails over the bar of Philip Marshall. And surely now Matthew Russell will bring this back and forth game to a close. That will do it in this Premier League Cup opener. Villa stunned the Seagulls with 2 goals at the beginning of the second half, but the Albion dragged themselves back in it. First through Benico Baker-Boatty with a fine finish from range, and then from a Marcus Eiffel header in the 95th minute. It ends in Lancing. Brighton Hove Albion 2, Aston Villa 2.